Episode 4, here we come. We are about to get, episode 5 is going to be neat. It's going to be the Ignite the Forge starter deck. But today we are dealing with Grave Matters. Check it out. We have an old Rustine and we got old Sticky Fingers. We have a very old deck. yes, yes, that was bad. Anyway, let's look at what we have and see how we think this is going to do. After looking over this deck, we are actually trying to use old stick fingers later in the game. We're trying to use old Rustine to create 1/1s. This deck is going to, of course, the title of this deck is Grave Matters, and we are going to be using our graveyard as much as we can. Old Rustine. Good old classic. Look at that. He could create 3 different things depending on what goes to the graveyard. When old Rustine enters the battlefield or at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. If a land card is milled this way, create a treasure token. If a creature card is milled this way, create a 1/1 green insect creature token. If a non-creature, non-land card is milled this way, create a blood token. And we don't mind popping that blood to discard cards because old Sticky Fingers is here too. When you cast this spell, reveal cards from the top of your library until you reveal X creature cards. Put all creature cards revealed this way into your graveyard, then put the rest on the bottom in any order. They love this random order stuff now. Anyway, his power and toughness are equal to the number of creature cards in your graveyard, which means he could come out and be very big. Would I ever put this into a deck normally? No, because you are milling most of your deck away, depending on how much X is. And yeah, he's just going to get removed. So if you do 6, right, he's going to be 8 for 6/6, and you mill away a lot of your creatures that could get you to the end game. But I don't think it's terrible in this deck. And the reason is we have Shigeki, the Jukai Visionary. Oh, what a beautiful card. So, play him. You tap 2, return him to your hand. Look at the top 4. Yes, 4. Put a land card among them onto the battlefield tapped, right? And you could channel him for 4. So you could return X non-legendary cards from your graveyard to your hand. It would be really nice to have a couple of these for this style of play, but as it stands, we only have the 1. We're going to have to try to make good use of that. And you also have the Goal Caller's Harvest. For 2, you create X, where X is half of the creatures in your graveyard. Round it up. And you create these zombies with Decayed. Very nice. So you're really trying to get all of your creatures into your graveyard. Everything you have in this deck is going to try to get things into your graveyard, like the Doomed Dissenter. When he dies, create a 2/2. All right. Death Bonnet Sprout at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. Then if there are 3 or more creature cards in your graveyard, transform him, and he's a big boy when he's transformed. You're going to be exiling cards with him whenever he's transformed. You also have a bit of control with Eaten Alive and Infernal Grasp. You also have other ways, rather than Shigeki, to get things out of the graveyard, like the Undead Butler. When he enters the battlefield, mill 3 cards. When he dies, you may exile it. When you do, return target creature card from your graveyard to your hand. He's got a way of replacing himself with something better. And then, of course, hopefully you could get him back to your hand with the Shigeki Jukai Visionary, or to get the Jukai Visionary back out of your graveyard so that you can cycle him again. You also have the Consuming Blob, whose power and toughness is equal to that of creatures. Is it creatures? No, card types in general in the graveyard +1. And at the beginning of your end step, create a green ooze creature token, which creature's power and toughness is equal to the amount of the different types of cards you have in your graveyard +1. So he creates himself at the end of every end step until he is removed from the battlefield. Very nice to get damage off. Very nice for chump blocking and stuff like that. And I think the Dreadhound is just in here to start pecking away at the life total of your opponent, as well as it's a 6/6. It's one of the few bombs in this deck, besides old Sticky Fingers. And, of course, your Death Bonnet Sprout. I think this deck will certainly not do terrible. I think it's going to do okay. But before we get into some matches, make sure you are liked, make sure you have subscribed, and we will come at you with more and more from this free-to-play account from scratch. Let's get into some matches and see how this deck does. As is tradition, we are going into play. Can we do standard? We can do standard play. We will do standard play with Grave Matters, just because in ranked we are going to get our butts handed to us. Let's get in and see how Grave Matter does when everything is said and done. Ooh, we got some Fell Singers. That might not be bad. We have an expensive hand, but if we could make it to turn 3, we should be pretty good to go. And we could always cycle the Fell Stingers, get them back with the Gloom Shrieker. So I think this is a keep. Opponent's got a pretty standard deck here. And he might be playing the starter decks as well. So we might be getting lucky right here. Ooh, yuck. Let's get rid of one Fell Stinger. Hanako. Okay. Gross. Yeah. So what do we want to do here? At the beginning of your upkeep, mill 2 cards. Whenever one or more creature cards are put into the graveyard, we will play this. The Crawling Infestation. That'll start to get our mill game going. We need to find a way to get rid of his creatures. Too bad we don't have a Meat Hook Massacre here. Meat Hook Massacre! It's quite a shame, actually. When he enters the battlefield, each opponent loses X life, where X is the greatest number of creatures you control that have a creature type in common, and you gain life. Okay. Looks like we got a couple of creatures out there, so... Yes. That Fell Stinger, now we can sack that insect. We will draw ourselves some cards. We got another Bloodspawn Squire. It gains indestructible at the end of turn. Tap it. Then if there are 4 or more creature cards in your graveyard, yeah, he turns into this. So, pretty nice value there. And we get the Fell Stinger on the battlefield, which is great. Alright. This is a dangerous creature. He's swinging with it. I'll let him swing with it. I will be more than happy to trade the Fell Stinger for it. Yes. Does he have anything that makes him indestructible? No, because he had no mana up anyway. I think that was a mistake by the opponent. Get our Squire out. Play a mana. Okay. I think we're stable. Return to nature. So he kills my enchantment. Not the greatest. But what if we were to just return that to the hand? Maybe actually get the Death Sprout. Yeah. We got a second Gloom Shrieker here. So keep this stuff going. Discard the Glade. Nope, we definitely don't want to attack with that. I don't know. I think we're looking pretty good here. Death Bonnet Sprout will transform. And he should... No, we need one more. Awesome. That's the 4th. So he will be able to transform now. Cool. So, I think the Dreadhound comes out. And we will swing with the Squire. Okay. Simply blocks it. If a creature card was exiled this way. So we need to continue to kill creature cards. Get them into the graveyard.
Bare your fangs!
That's dangerous. So we're going to have to actually start swinging here. We don't necessarily want to swing a lot, but that is the situation. When does this transform? Pay 2, discard a card. I don't want to discard a card. But we will discard the mulch. Oh, yeah. Then we're going to go with the Gloom Shrieker. And I think we get back the Fellstinger to get more cards. I think that sounds smart. Now, how many creature cards do we have in here? We've got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. Create 5 of these suckers. Oh, wait. It only gave us 3. That's okay. We don't mind if, well, we don't really want him to die. So we're just going to attack with 1, the Dread Hound. We'll probably chump it. And he does. Well, next turn we get to attack with these Zombos. Nisa as well. The sweaty deck for play. The sound has been destroyed. We've done it, guys. -5. Put a creature card with mana value less than or equal to the number of lands you control onto the battlefield from your hand or graveyard with 2/1/1 counters on it. So, all right. The opponent scoops away. Probably didn't get what he wanted. New big swings were coming. Okay, good enough. All right, we got Eaten Alive. We got Tenacious Underdog, the Undead Butler. Oh yeah, this is keepable. Oh, hello. Greetings to you. Strice to top. Should have been paying attention, but I think he went top. Yeah, he did. Okay, we'll take a damage. Tenacious Underdog, one of the best rares in the game, right here. For 2, he's a 3/2, and then he has a blitz, where you can continually blitz him, which is fantastic. And, of course, we're going to just attack. Return to hand, huh? Okay. Yeah, a little pacing being done by the opponent. But opponent's really low on cards. He's got 2 cards here with the Wizard class. This being a sorcery, I don't want to exile the Underdog. I think that would be the wrong play. We'll take 1. Play out a land. We could Infernal Grasp that, but I do not think that it's necessary. I think we get the Undead Butler out. Awesome. Mill 3 cards. We got another Undead Butler in the graveyard. And we swing for 3 here. We do get a creature in the graveyard, though, and that's really good for us. Scry 2, draw a card. Okay. I consider that acceptable. Scry's 2/2 bottle. Scry 2, draw a card again. I think that is actually better than Opt. It does cost 2, though. Almost all cards are able to be used in some situation or another, and I say that with a grain of salt. Okay, we put this out. Then we're going to swing. It looks like the opponent is willing to race, and we're willing to race with him. Mulch. Oh, Shigeki's in the graveyard. Well, we got something to pull out with the Undead Butler. Nope, we don't want that on the field. No, sir. I'll take one. We will damage ourselves 2 to try to get rid of the Archmage Emeritus. He phases out. Great. Death Bonnet Sprout resolves. Since he's phased out, he can't block. So this is a good opportunity to get some more damage off. Oh, man. We'll probably do Eaten Alive. But on what? We're going to have the Death Bonnet Sprout transform next turn. We're going to have... Oh. Maybe we just paid 4 for this. But we definitely want to try to get rid of Emeritus. That card's going to be very dangerous. Fading Hope. Okay. More pacing for the opponent. And more cards for the opponent, more importantly. Now he's got his Wizard class maxed out. Okay. What if we did this? Okay, that resolves. Sack a creature. We're going to target him. Sack the Dissenter. Dissenter goes away. Okay. He returns it to his hand. Should have played this first, but... Yes, kill the Butler. It's time to get Shigeki. Oh, he does not kill the Butler. Again, the game is so powerful that, our sound system has failed. I wonder what's going on with Magic the Gathering Arena that causes the sound to fail on the effects. It's a much different game when that happens. Yep. This is just a regular zombie. We have 6 zombies in the graveyard. Let's go with the Fell Stinger. Sacking the Butler. Boom. Butler is gone. I will make my own sound effects. And we're going to do this on ourselves. Definitely taking the action here. And let's get our Shigeki. Oh, yeah. All of the cards. Pay 2 more life for the underdog. So we swing with the underdog. We got a full hand of cards. Nice little defense there by the opponent. We do get to draw another card. Oh, any deck with card advantage, that's where it's at. That is where it's at. Gentaxius. Absolutely disgusting. So, whenever you cast an instant, artifact, or sorcery spell, you may choose new targets for the copy. Or when an opponent casts an artifact, instance, or sorcery spell, right, you counter it. It happens once per turn. Opponent's looking really good. This is none of those things. We don't need to draw a card. We will sack this. And he's going to sack his 1/1, of course. Now, this should not counter. But I think we need to get some big boys out in the field. Let's get the Death Sprout rolling. Let's get the Bloodsworn Squire rolling. And we will swing with our Fell Stinger. He'll probably block with the Raven here. Gets rid of the Raven. Draws a card, given Gataxias +1/+1. Yep. Tasha's Hideous Laughter. That is absolutely disgusting. But next turn we can swing for a lot if we survive. And we did. Perfect. No. Wow. We have one card left. One card. We have one card left, opponent. Do you have anything? You have 2 cards in hand. Oh no. Not like this. No, not like this. Resolve. I think we lose, right? Because Death Bonnet Sprout, at the beginning of your upkeep, mill a card. So, no. Nice sneaky mill deck here. We'll let the opponent proc through everything. I want to make sure that we actually lose here. Man, oh man, what is going on with the sound? I want to make sure that we actually lose here. If the opponent doesn't know it, we'll just scoop away. And then we draw a card for turn. Why are you still casting things? Stop it. Stop. Show off. You show off. Oh! Oh! He conceded. I don't think we drew for turn, so I think opponent actually had us there. But hey, if you don't know how to play your deck, you're going to lose. All right, let's see what we're doing. The center, always nice to have. We have an underdog. We have an infernal grasp. Everything a growing boy needs. No 1-drops, though. So not everything. Let's see how the soundbar does in this game. Okay. Underdog or Dissenter? I think we do Dissenter. And then we get rid of the Dissenter with the Fell Stinger. Draw some cards. Drawing cards is always powerful. Always. Let's do that here. We target ourselves. Now we have a 3/2 Death Touch and a 2/2 Zombie. And we got our first creature in the graveyard. Oh, first strike, huh? Well, I don't mind creatures going to the graveyard, but not quite like that, opponent. Swing. Bing, bing. There's 5 damage. I think we do the underdog here, right? Oh, yeah. Get that value going. Tapped mana. Ooh, another first strike guy. Well, guess what? We have all the cards that Growing Boy needs to handle that. Ooh, yeah. Swing first. Opponent down to 8, and then the Sprout. And we're going to start milling ourselves a little bit. Trample. Whenever a samurai or warrior you control attacks alone, you may cast a target artifact from your graveyard this turn. Very nice. Yeah. I'm going to need you to sacrifice that. Very quick game, very efficient, and another victory. All right. We got a mulch. Death Sprout into mulch, very good. We'll get the black mana. I'm confident we will get the black mana. And that will make this deck... we got it now. So maybe we play the Butler instead and just hold the mulch. Okay. Go. Pretty traditional white-green setup. Virtuoso. Virtuoso. You are the bane of my existence. Yeah. Too bad we lost the crawling infestation. We did not get any creatures in our graveyard yet. Okay. Dragon's Guard Elite. He spent all of his mana, though. Can we make him pay for that? Should we take 6 here? I think we do. It's hard to tell. Now, we play the Gravelighter. We get rid of the Butler. He's going to get rid of the Elite, probably. You never can tell in play, though. People are testing out decks and stuff like that. Take action. There we go. No attacks. I don't think we can win against an Illuminator Virtuoso. By the way, I have a video on the Illuminator Virtuoso. Just a little pop there. I was actually playing with a deck with a Virtuoso earlier today, to be honest. Another Virtuoso. Man, oh man. But the opponent has all the Virtuosos on the field. It means he very likely... I'm going to actually block with the Sprout. It means he probably doesn't have anything in the way of spells in his hand. 2? So we'd only be able to create 1. I don't think this is a win. That's 12 damage right here. There's 14 damage. We're going to block anyway to see if we could steal a win. Hey, that's an instant. You should have waited. But there's no defense here. We've lost. It beats. We were finally defeated. The thing with Virtuoso decks is they either win or they lose. Let's see what we got here. 3 Gravelighters. This is great against a creature central deck. So we'll keep this. Oh my god, I hope you're playing creatures, because we also got an Infernal Grasp. Old Rustine, though. Next turn, I think we put the Old Rustine out. Roper. We're going to grasp the Roper. And we might as well get a damage on. 19, though it looks like you're playing a life deck, so that might not matter too much. Old Rustine enters the battlefield. We get rid of a creature. We cannot attack that. How much you want to bet he would have not blocked, though, so that I didn't get my zombie? Oh, we will get our zombie. Containment on the Rustine. Yeah. Awesome. He is now a mana. All right, Gravelighter. Sure. Opponent. There we go. Dissenter. Now we get our 2/2 out. And we probably swing for 1 here. We've been doing a lot of that swinging for 1, silliness. But getting damage off is always the right move whenever the opportunity arises, so we'll take what we can get. Cool. Clear class, and it looks like our sound has failed again. Let's pop this. Get Rustine into the graveyard. Cool. Another thing we could do here is we could go ahead and get our zombie out. I know it's not the correct way to play it. Core Celebrant. Opponent starts to gain some life and passes turn, huh? Well, let's do this. And we'll actually stack the Gravelighter because we got the Shigeki now. We could get stuff out of our graveyard with it. Swing away. Swing away. Opponent down to 8 in turn. So he's able to get something back. What does he want? He wants, of course, the Celebrant. Resolve, resolve. Puts a 1-1 on him. He's a 3-6 now. Go to my turn. What do we want out of the graveyard? Even if we just got... Let's see. We could do 2. And I think we will do 2. Yes. Gravelighter and Infernal Grasp. Yes, sir. The old switcheroo and swing with everything. We lose one of the zombies. Pass turn. Opponent back down to 8. I'm sure that will change. He kills the other zombie. The Core Celebrant is now a 4-7. He's going to swing for 7. Back up to 15. Oh, boy. Hey, sound. Oh. 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 Very nice. Sack that. He sacks that. There's still a chance. Okay. He gets the Innkeeper out. He gets a land out. Meet in the tavern. Very strong move by the opponent. He finds 2 unicorns. Well, okay. We can swing with all 3. We need to try to get off as much damage as possible. And we don't want his life gain taking over this game. So we'll pay 2 life, go down to 3, and hopefully find a way around these 2 unicorns coming out. Okay. And yeah, let's try to kill him with the Dream Hound. We get 1 damage off here. 2 or 3. I think we attack with all 3 and pass turn. Yeah. Ugly, ugly, ugly. Opponent down to 1. We are down to 3. Let's see if he could find a way out of this. So if he had targeted the Butler or the Dreadhound, he would win. Not the Dreadhound, because that's still a little bit too big for them to deal with. Doesn't have Indestructible, though. Swinging with just the 1. Okay. I'm going to... Oh. He does not attack. Okay. No. We want this ability to happen because that'll give us a bigger defender. I think we'll hit for 4, and we're just going to end turn. It would be nice to play this morbid opportunist, but I don't think it's what we want. I think we actually want to discard it. The pill drop comes in. He does not gain life for this, and he's 1 mana away from the core celebrant. So again, we are looking okay. The story seeker comes out, and opponent is saying good game, and he scoops it away. We would have 4 in the air, and he didn't have any way of dealing with that. He also didn't have the mana to cast what he wanted to cast, which was, of course, Celebrant. That would have given him 2 more life and would have put him in a little bit better of a position. But opponent did not have it. We get ourselves some Radiant Grace for playing all this black stuff that we are playing. Maybe it thinks we need to be redeemed.
Let's do one more match and then we will go redeem ourselves in the post game wrap.
Hey, sound! And Secret Energy is going to try to defeat us. What do you do? What are you playing? You playing blue? A Bonnet, Opportunist, and a Dissenter. Really good mana curve. Really good mana curve. So, we'll start with the Death Bonnet Sprout and see what we can do. Barbarian class, we discarded a Butler. We should probably get the Underdog rolling. 2 really good creatures right here, the Underdog and the Death Bonnet Sprout. The Death Bonnet Sprout is really nice when it comes to pacing. You get it on turn 1, and then by turn 3, hopefully it's a 3/3. Then you're exiling the opponent's graveyard. Let's get the Butler out. Boom, boom, boom. That's the third one, I think. 1, 2, 3. Yes. We don't get the sticky fingers, though, and that's not necessarily great. But yeah, Arena, what's going on with your sound? Should I add sound effects? Maybe I should be out adding sound effects here. But I don't think we need that. Okay. Well, we weren't able to get the land, so I think we mulched to try to get some land. We got 1. And we lost a Fellstinger. That's not great. Should we mulch again? I mean, if you're mulching, you might as well keep mulching. Quit looking at the butler. Stop it. What are you looking at? I see you. Cool. How many creatures do we have in the graveyard? 6, it looks like. Yeah, 6. So the Gold Color's Harvest is going to be pretty good here. Okay. Alrighty then. Okay, so he saves him for a turn. Oh, killing the Death Bonnet. Okay, good move. But now we have 7 in the graveyard, which gives us an opportunity for a large move next turn. Let's go ahead and do the harvest. Grab ourselves some zombos and pass turn. Next turn, we'll have our underdog back, and we'll be able to swing for a significant amount of damage. Unless he removes everything right now, which is possible. No, it's not. Well, no, now it's definitely not. So, tapped land is not the way we want to do things here. We do want to play the opportunist before we attack. Now we just swing with everything indiscriminately. And this should put the opponent in a very awkward situation where they have 2 health left. Yep, bye Zombos. Good job getting some damage off. I really appreciate it. Okay. The Doomed Dissenter. Just in case you wipe my board, I still have a 2/2. All right. Delina. She attacks. Choose target creature you control, then roll a d20. Okay. That's a lot of d20s. Oh my god. And it's still rolling. Let's see, that's going to be a lot. Cool. So we're going to have to block one of these dudes, and opponent decides, good try. Good try. This is a really neat combination with Delina and the Barbarian classes. You know, whenever you roll one or more dice, +2/+0, she rolls dice, puts one of these out, it rolls dice, succeeded again, it rolls dice, and this one did not succeed. But yeah, we won.
Let's go do a post game wrap and talk about some upgrades for the deck.
And we are back with a post game wrap. Man, oh man, I actually really enjoyed playing this deck. I kind of struggling on where to put this. It's either a 4 or a 4.5. The question we have to ask is this as good as Blossoming Growth? And I think in many ways it definitely is. But in some ways, I think it has a little bit more to be desired. Right? Yeah. I would really prefer to have 2 more Moltres in here, put 4 Moltres in here to have a little bit more of that ramp, and in later game be able to play multiple creatures at once. We also would need a couple more Shigekis and stuff like that, but we'll talk about upgrades here in a second. Right now, we're looking for the raw number 1 through 5, where this is going, and I'm going to give this a 4.25. It's right down the middle. It's definitely better than just good, but I don't think it's quite on the same level as Blossoming Growth, right? So 4.25, that is my final answer, and let's now talk about upgrades. So what would we want to upgrade in this deck? We definitely want 2 more of these Death Bonnet Sprouts, and probably remove these Eaten Alives. That's a hard choice. This is removal for 1, which is actually really great, but you have to exile a target creature or planeswalker. The only problem I have with this card is the exile. If this was just sacrifice, this would be a very good card for this deck. But because it is exile, we need those creatures in the graveyard, and we're not going to get it with Eaten Alive. It's actually going to weaken this deck just a bit. I would also add, of course, 3 more Tenacious Underdogs. Oh, what a beautiful man. Look at how handsome he is, and he knows he's a good card, right? But these dudes in here will do fantastic, and from the graveyard, they could still enter the battlefield and do damage to your opponent. We want these. We need him here, and I would definitely put 4 of these. To put 4 of these in here, probably the Doom Dissenter is going to go away, right? Probably Doom Dissenter and 1 Reclusive Taxidermist. I'm sure the Reclusive Taxidermist is a decent enough card, but it's not nearly as good as Tenacious Underdog. This card is just brilliant. I would also add 1 more Old Rustine and 1 more Old Sticky Fingers, and I would definitely add 2 of the Gold Colors Harvests. This will cause us to have to eliminate a couple more cards. The Crawling Infestation seems to have a good place in here, so I wouldn't eliminate this, but we wouldn't increase it either. Let me pull out the other Taxidermists and the Bloodsworn Squires. I mean, these dudes did help win games, but we want to build an engine and keep doing it. And I think that the Gloom Shrieker, the Old Rustine, the Old Sticky Fingers, the Gold Colors Harvest, Shigeki, Tenacious Underdog, the Death Bonnet Sprout. You've got plenty of stuff for this cycle earlier in the game than 4. It is our only 4-cost card, but I think it would be better to cast 2 cost cards rather than this. It's really hard to eliminate any of these things in here because they're all so good, but that would be a place where I would start whenever, I'm trying to actually win games in competitive play with this deck. That's where I would start, and we would see where it would go from there, but that's it. That's how I would do this. So, we've talked about the deck, we've given it a rating, and I've just simply run out of words. So we come into the video where I say, bye.